To you Redditors aged 50 plus, what's something you genuinely believe young people haven't realized yet, but could enrich their lives or positively impact their outlook on life? Everybody ducks up, it's what you do after that matters. 2 things I will be eternally grateful to my grandfather for instilling in me: failure is not an end state unless it is where you choose to stop. He loved to quote that line by Churchill whenever something didn't work out for me: success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Honesty is the most powerful tool you can use to define yourself. Admit your mistake, frankly and honestly. The truth always comes out in the end, no matter how big or small, and it doesn't get better with age. You can give back something you steal, you can help those you hurt, but once they brand you a liar, it's all you will ever be. This is some of the best advice here. Anecdotal, but honesty saved my career twice when I ducked up. I was working for a startup a long time ago and thought I had followed a procedure correctly, only to have it bring our production site offline. Right as it went down, I realized I fucked up and missed a critical step. Went straight to the CTO, admitted it, fixed it, and then went before the CEO to explain. The CEO and CTO said they were going to fire me but didn't want to because they valued my honesty and integrity. They said that had I not been so forthright that they would have tossed me out then and there. Be as honest as possible. It pays in the end. One of my guiding principles in my career is to approach my boss with 4 pieces of information. 1. What I did wrong. 2. The exact ramifications on our system. 3. What I've already done to fix it. 4. What I plan on doing to fix it further after this meeting. It's never let me down. I try to add a number 5. Document how what I did and or how not to do said thing. My sup really likes that extra step. I have so many notes in files that are like, #make sure to calculate before you refresh the pivot because I'm dumb. I also have notes that are like, hey, don't forget you have to do it X weird way and not the way you'd think you have to do it because this file was built dumb a decade ago, and if you want to make it intuitive and easy to do, you're going to have to rebuild the entire file and you don't have time, so don't forget you have to do it the stupid way. Unless you don't mind hearing like all the time, day and night, use hearing protection in loud situations. Tinnitus is a bitch. I acquired that shit during an AC/DC concert. I was near the column of speakers. Brian Johnson hit that ducking bell with a huge hammer. That shit fucked my ear forever. The first time I wore earplugs, there was a column of speakers to my left. I only put an earplug in my left ear. The difference in my ears after the show was so shocking, I never went without earplugs again. I knew my hearing was worse after a show, but the comparison was a wake-up call. The muted, whooshing sound in my right ear scared the shit out of me. Edit: I've tried all the earplugs except the custom molded ones. For live shows, NY go-to is Quiet Please by Flint's. Read the instructions to insert them correctly. First time I wore earplugs to a concert, my friends were yelling at me after and couldn't hear me. Never skip them again, my mild tinnitus is already annoying enough. I've planned to take earplugs to the last 3 concerts and have forgotten the last 3. I improvised and balled up paper towels, then wet them and put them in my ears. Lol, works pretty well in a pinch. I call it the long wet willy. For you, and anyone else that needs earplugs. Less than $10 for 56 pairs. I work at an airport and walk past jets every day. I keep a bag of these in my car and a bag in my flight bag. Once you start carrying some earplugs around, you start noticing more and more situations where it would be a good idea to wear them. I find myself putting in earplugs a lot now, even when not at work. For concerts, it's much better to invest $20 to $40 in high-fidelity earplugs like Eargasms Loop-Etymotic. It's more like turning down the volume while regular earplugs muffle everything. Etymotics are great, haven't tried the others. I was wearing them at a Rammstein show last August, and I didn't think they were working because I was used to normal earplugs. Took one up for a moment. Oh yeah, they were definitely working. Take care of your body. Exercise, keep your weight reasonable, and keep the bad habits in moderation. It really does make a difference later in life. And take care of your teeth. It's ducking expensive replacing crowns, getting implants, etc. You forgot dentures. I can't afford them and have been on a free clinic waiting list for my name to come up for 2 years just gumming my food. Really changes your diet. That's the reason many people suffer from malnutrition after losing their teeth. Even with dentures, you have to avoid certain types of food because they'll pull the denture out of your mouth. If possible, implant supported, snap in, Dentures can be an excellent call improvement, but they typically cost as much as an economy car. My wife has had them a little over a year and it changed her life. Nobody else ever thinks about the things you did that you think were embarrassing or cringeworthy. You are not important to them. The only one who remembers those moments are you, and you shouldn't let them define you to yourself. I heard a saying once. When you're young, you constantly worry about what everyone else thinks of you. When you're an adult, you stop worrying about what everyone else thinks of you. And when you're old, you finally realize that nobody else was thinking about you anyway. What if you learn people are saying negative things behind your back? That will happen and it doesn't matter. Truly, living well is the best revenge. Move on and be happy. Those people are already miserable. Living your best life is absolutely the best way to get back at these people. The best part is that you'll get back at them without putting negative energy into it. The best part is that the same action, being well, punishes people who hate you and rewards people who love you at the same time. And it surrounds you with similar people who also like to be well and live well. It's a feedback loop. Marriage relationships should be fun and happy. Life is hard, things get tough. Find someone that makes the tough times easier, not harder. Piggybacking off this and saying, even the happiest marriages get into arguments. It's not a reason to leave. Piggybacking off this to saying, discover ways to resolve conflict, to realign and reharmonize, early in the relationship. Make it a habit to not linger in the muck. Shit happens, so get good at fixing it, at its root, and moving on. The difference between heavenly and hellish relationships is in having a supportive, connecting attitude versus one of judgment, isolation, retribution, and this attitude gets applied to every interaction, hundreds of times a day, every day of the year. Yes. Both of you versus the issue. Not versus each other. Stop thinking your life is about being the most productive person you can be. Find interesting hobbies that make you feel good and are good for you. Your soul deserves to experience some of your own dreams. Don't waste all of your time working towards the dreams of your company's owners. Wear sunscreen. I just had a quick look at my 50-year-old upper chest, frequently exposed to the sun in my youth, and compared it to my 50-year-old belly, which has always been clothed and covered. I have never liked two-piece swimsuits. What a difference. My 50-year-old friend in FL may be darker than me, but she's starting to look a bit like Leatherface. Inheritance is not a retirement plan. Best inheritance is parents who can fund, edit from find, their old age care in whatever format. If there was abuse in your childhood of any kind and no one helped, get help now. If you can't afford therapy, use online resource. They're not the best, but still helpful. Don't have your own children until you're sure you won't repeat the cycle. If you die, your employer will have your job posted before you are buried. Remember that on when making work-life choices. 100% this. Pops told me 30 years ago, don't forget mental income. Sure, you may be $20,000 a year behind your neighbors, but not bringing your work home with you every night and sleeping soundly is worth a lot more. I stated my career at corporate headquarters for a large insurance company. I was doing great, but I just didn't like the industry. I applied for a job at a major university and someone took a chance on me and gave me the position. Transitioning from for-profit to non-profit is notoriously hard. I made less money over the course of my career certainly, but I wasn't on poverty wages by any means. But I remember about 5 years in, one of my old VPs was in town and we got together. His comment was, "We miss you, but you look so much happier, the psychic income is showing." Insightful guy. Psychic income is such a great term. I'm using that from now on. Reading for pleasure. I'd say invest in your health by regularly exercising. My wife got me into running when we were in our 20s, and it has been a big part of our lives ever since. I'm 63. Nothing crazy, no marathons, we don't time ourselves or follow a strict training plan, we just pick a route, go at our own pace and have fun. We still go 3 to 4 miles, 3-4x per week. I also started working out at the gym 3x a week with free weights in my 30s, and have been doing it ever since. I'm no Schwarzenegger, believe me, but I can still work around the house, move furniture, shovel snow and have fun tossing a ball around with the kids without injuring or exhausting myself. Between aerobic fitness and the weights, I've been able to stay remarkably healthy my entire adult life, knock on wood. It's also been great for my mental health and managing stress. You don't have to go nuts and set unreasonably strict requirements for exercise goals or diet that a normal person can't possibly maintain. Just do the best you can. Make exercising a few times per week a habit, eat a reasonable diet, avoid fried stuff, eat fruit and veggies, lay off the sweets, and 40 years later you'll really thank yourself, believe me.